are you?
We, fine. We once again did about 40 minutes of troubleshooting before we actually started recording because that's our life now.
Mm-hmm. I'm done. I'm over it. I'm over it so much. Hi. Welcome to the neurodivergent shit show where I can't say words and we can't get our lives together.
Nope.
I'm Nikki, and that's
I'm
Amanda.
Amanda.
Say hi, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Do the roar.
Do the roar.
And we are two neurodivergent best friends traveling the neurodiverse. Holy fuck, I can't. I'm so done.
It's not
I'm
even
so
after
done.
8 o'clock, so
I know my brain is mush today. Um, we're two neurodivergent best friends traveling the neuroverse together because we are. No, yes, we are living. This is so bad. I can't deal. We're 42 episodes in and I still can't get this shit right. We're living in a neurotypical world and we are not neurotypical girls. Welcome to the goddamn shit show. It's here. It's a smear
it's
in my
not
brain.
queer.
It's not queer. It's a smear in my brain because I can't deal with shit today. You talk to these people because God help me, I can't. So talk to them. What's going on today?
I can try. I've read so many contracts today. At least my day went by quickly, but I've read just contract after contract. Like I showed you the Excel spreadsheet, and that was just one VP out of 5 that I have to go through. Granted, the one I showed you has about half of the contracts that I deal with, but it's just a lot. I'm like, I just have to make it basically the next couple weeks, because we have to have all our stuff ready by like the 5th, or no, well, we have to have certain things ready by the 5th, but then we're actually getting audited the end of February. So I'm just waiting till the end of till the end of February comes here, and then I feel like I can breathe after that. So
Gotcha.
that's been my day. Um, Otherwise I'm very tired and haven't been sleeping well. So it is what it is.
That's better. There we go. My camera must have been like fingerprinted up. I'm like, why do I look fuzzy?
Mm,
That's better.
that's better. And I now I can see you and your grandpa glasses.
My grandpa glasses. My grandpa blue blockers.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I do. I just washed my hair, so there's nothing going on with it right now, and I have no makeup on because it was my day off. My much needed day off. I don't feel good. I think it's just burnout. Still, or the tail end of. I've been feeling a little bit better, but I think I'm just on the tail end of this bullshit. So yeah. Um, we luckily I don't have all the talking to do today. It's Amanda's turn
Yep.
for a vulnerable episode. It's story time again. We could only go one straight week with an actual topic, and I'm sorry for that, but it is what it is. But before we jump into Amanda's story time, let's get started with the fun. Because fuckery comes after story time. So let's hit them with some fun. Thank God I am not thinking of words today. It's Amanda's turn. For those of you who don't know what's going on here, I'm sorry this is your first episode. God help you. There are many more just like this for you to listen to. 41 others to be exact. We are creeping up on a year, ma'am. Creeping up. That elusive, ever elusive 50. Wow. The mush mouth is so fucking bad. It's been so bad the last couple days. Yawn too. I haven't even been putting yawn counters in, so I don't know why I'm counting. Oh my God. So yeah, we're rolling up on that 50th episode where we're going to do a neurodivergent meme review. So I have a post that I need to get scheduled out, but I've made us a little post that says the meme shelf. And it's basically going to be a thread on Facebook. You may add your memes to that thread. That
So it's gonna
way,
be like a pin post.
yeah, like a pinned post. It's the meme shelf. I need you to fill our meme shelf, okay? We'll talk more about that later. But we're rolling up on 50 episodes. I know it seems like it's really far away, but it's really not. We've got
Yeah,
what?
2 months.
Yeah, not yeah, 2 months almost exactly till we are there. And then 2 weeks after that, we're on our 1 year episode. So that's
Star Wars
bananas.
Day. It's always that's how it's
Yes,
easy to remember. It's Star Wars Day.
because it's Star Wars Day. May the fourth be with you always.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yeah, that's what's going on here. We're getting in there, but I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing every time we get on this fucking camera. You'd think we'd figured it out by now. No.
No,
But
no.
anyway, let's do the fun. We start every episode. That was a long way of saying we start every episode with a
There's
Mad
no,
Lib.
there's no short-wittedness for us.
Oh
Okay,
my God,
we're
no, especially for
like,
me. Yeah, we start every episode with a
you need
Mad
a
Lib.
roadmap. You need a roadmap when it comes to our conversations. So
For sure, for sure. Just, follow the dopamine with us. It's fine. Let's do a Mad Lib.
okay.
I don't have to think of words.
Nope.
My phone needs to stop buzzing at me. Because I do not have the spoons for distractedness today. Amanda, I
Mm-hmm.
need from you, ma'am, a noun, please.
Conjecture.
Oh. Okay. Plural noun, please. No,
Did I
just kidding.
miss?
Adjective. Sorry, I skipped one.
Did I miss one?
Adjective.
Springy.
Oh, strange. Okay. Now plural noun.
Trash piles.
Okay. All right. Okay. That looks like pills, not piles. I can't spell. Verb, past tense, please. Post haste.
Post. Mooned.
Okay. Another plural noun.
Yeah, there's like a fucking lot of plural nouns and adjectives in
Yeah.
this one. Walnuts.
Okay.
I heard a thing of Scottish person say, "You fucking walnut," and it just made me laugh.
It's cute. I like it. Adjective.
Monstrous.
Okay. I don't think we've used that one yet. That's awesome. Monstrosity. Okay, noun.
Stupidity.
Mm-hmm. We love that.
Mhm.
Okay, a place.
Mount Everest.
Okay. Verb, past tense, yet again.
Persevered.
Perser. I think that's right. Okay. Plural noun. Again.
It's a longer one. Roasty toasty princesses.
Oh my God. I said that on my live at work
Oh
yesterday.
yeah?
Mhm.
Yesterday?
I
Roasty
sure did.
toasty princess.
I love that.
I thought of it because earlier I had turned my space heater on at work and my boss came in and sat down and she goes, "It's really roasty toasty in here." And I just
Mm-hmm.
immediately thought, "Roasty toasty
Roasty
princess."
toasty princess. Roasty toasty princess. Bonus points
Mm.
if you know what movie that's from. My God, I'm gonna chuck this phone because I'm tired of hearing it buzz. Okay. A place.
The Earth's core.
Oh.
I went all the way up and I gotta go all the way in.
Oh no! I'm laughing at things now that are not even said out loud. They're implied. We've descended too early in this episode. Okay, verb ending in ing.
Had to do it. Fucking.
Of course you did.
Mhm.
That's the only thing that belongs there. Adjective, please.
Gratuitous.
Oh, I think.
It's one of those I really had to like spell
Strange.
out. I'm like, and
Yeah,
I
I'm
Googled
sure
how
it's
to
wrong, but it's fine. Occupation.
professional body painter.
I would love that job.
I don't know. It depends on like, do I have to go on the ass crack and stuff? Like, what are we doing
Sometimes.
here? Yeah, I don't know.
You
I
gotta
don't
make
have.
it blend, girl. You gotta, it's sometimes they gotta look like they ain't even got one of them ass cracks. So you gotta make it
Hmm.
blend. Adjective.
Shell shocked.
Oh, wow. Can't spell. And another adjective.
Fergalicious.
I love that. Fergalicious. It's hot, hot, fergalicious. They want a taste of what I got. Yep. We're there. Last and finally, the last pronoun, please.
Fanny packs.
Fanny packs. I gotta light our candles. I forgot it. Hello? Lighter. Hello? My
Hello.
household is incredibly
McFly.
quiet.
Hello.
You said fanny
Packs.
pinks. You know what's funny to me?
Mm-hmm.
Something I've thought about quite a bit. How in America the word fanny got
Means butt.
means
Mm-hmm.
but a fanny in
The
the
UK.
UK means your
JJ.
your pussy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but you think we'd have figured it out because the fanny pack that the Americans love so much is not worn over your butt.
I mean,
So
it can
what?
be.
My
It can
husband,
be. Did he, did he hear your explanation?
he just choked on his water. Sorry, heavily distracted, and I just heard from the other room. But you'd think we'd like figured that out because we don't wear that over our butts. We wear it over the front.
Mm-hmm.
So what we call a fupa is really a fanny. So like, I don't understand. He's dying. He's dying in the other room. How does he not pay attention to anything I fucking say or do in here 98% of the fucking time? But when I bring up a fanny pack, his ears fucking perk up. I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand this
Selective
at all.
hearing.
Quit
Very selective.
choking on shit. You're distracting me. You're not sorry. You're doing it on purpose at this point. That's a fake fucking choking sound. Knock it off. Shut up. I love you. Okay, let's read a Mad Lib after that large divergence from topic. All right, here we go. Although Ash, I'm sorry, what's the fucking title, Nicole? Some of Ash's friends. That's the title. All right, here we go, everybody. Although Ash started his conjecture alone, he has made many springy friends along the way. One of his first trash piles was Misty.
Tracks. She's so annoying.
Oh shit. Okay. Ash mooned her after his Pikachu damaged her bike.
That actually fits so well.
Sorry, my Pikachu damaged your bike. Here's my ass. Let me show you my ass. Um, but then they became best friends. The best of walnuts. No, 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 no. I can't read. Hold on. Try again. Okay. Ash mooned her after his Pikachu damaged her bike, but then they became the best of walnuts. There we go. That's the sentence. She is the gym leader of the monstrous Cerulean Gym and specializes in stupidity type Pokemon. Ash met Brock after they battled in Mount Everest. They persevered together for many roasty toasty princesses through Kanto, Johto, and all the way to the Earth's core until fucking ways. Oh shit! Why does that make so much sense? Oh Jesus! Oh, my kidneys hurt. Okay. Brock's gratuitous Pokemon was Onyx, and Brock wanted to be a Pokemon professional body painter. More recently, Ash has teamed up with Clement, genius of electric type Pokemon, and the oh shit, I'm dropping earbuds. And the shell-shocked Serena. Just look at her fergalicious hat. I like that one. No matter what, one thing's for sure, Ash would have never gotten this far without his fanny packs.
I mean, those backpacks hold a lot, the
Yeah,
ones
they
that he
fucking do.
has.
They're like Mary
Mhm.
Poppins backpacks, man. It's amazing how many
And even
fucking
it,
Pokeballs
yeah,
and shit you can keep in there.
yeah, even in like the later games, from what I've seen on YouTube, it's just like they even have like compartments. Like this part is for the
Mhm.
Pokeballs, this part is for other stuff. I'm like, I have 117 potions in this one, and like
Right.
70 million elixirs, and like
Oh my God.
47 Pokeballs. But I guess okay,
Oh shit. We
like a
are
bag of
almost
holding.
done. Like literally almost done with this. I think there's only like 5 or 6 left. Let me see. I'm curious. We have one, two, three, four, four. We have 4 left in this book.
Oh boy.
Why did this go so fast, but the 90s one didn't? Was it bigger? I don't think so. I think they're the same size.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, strange, but it's the truth. Okay. So, I'm
That's all
off the
I'm gonna say
fucking
about
hook
that.
now. It's your turn. Your turn to talk. Um,
Okay.
you need to explain what we're talking about today and why you want to talk about it, ma'am.
Okay. So basically, I messaged Nikki, probably it was Sunday, and so I forgot what I said. Basically, like kind of like the gist of what happened for to me on Sunday. So, and the whole like maybe if I wasn't autistic, this wouldn't have happened. Like maybe I wouldn't have done this to where it wouldn't have happened. So let me preface this by saying, like what I did wasn't like, yes, maybe I shouldn't have done it, but the response by this person was so over the top. Like I even mess like when I even like Scott came over last night and I explained to him what had happened. And Scott's one of those like people, he's very pragmatic and I when I told him I said I'm kind of worried like to tell you the story because you're the type of person, which is not a bad thing. He's the type of person to see it from all sides. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm thinking, okay, will he even see it? Like he'll see it from my side, but then will he
Right.
be like, well, you should, yeah, maybe like maybe they shouldn't have reacted to that, but yeah, maybe you should have done that. Like they kind of like
Mm-hmm.
not like behind
Right.
me 100 like 100% like I needed. So
Mm-hmm.
today is Thursday, so this happened Sunday. I told I told Nikki on Sunday, I said, you had your crying episode. It is my
Yeah.
turn. I don't think I'll cry anymore. My eyes hurt so much because I've cried from like Sunday through Wednesday. Not
Hmm.
nonstop, just a lot. Like I even like kept my door closed at work.
Yeah.
So then like if I cried, no one would just like see. Well, anyway, so just had a this is what happened. So I was on my a friend group. We were playing D&D and we were doing it at one of their houses. Let's call him A. We were doing it at A's house. And so they uh the friend that started the group, let's call him Jay, he had gotten these tokens, bought these tokens that are supposed to like represent your character, like our characters, like it says like Bard, Ranger, and like different monsters, like it's just tokens that represent different things, so we can put them on the map, whatever, to see to like signify what they are. And so he had bought them, and what he thought, left them at A's house because we were having at A's house. So it doesn't make sense for him to keep lugging them back and forth. So it had been a while since we had done this because in the meantime, A and his wife had a baby. So it'd been a few months since we last met up. And so they couldn't remember where those tokens are. And I said, oh, I think maybe I remember you putting something in this drawer, like a drawer that they have right when you enter their house. Like you literally enter their house, and on the left is like a wall, like with a closet, and right by that closet is like one of those long tables that you just put like a random plant or a lamp on or
Mm-hmm.
something. And it has 2 drawers. And then they're like, no, I don't think it'd be in there. I was like, okay. but I don't think they went to go check. Like he went to go look in his back room, but I just in my head was thinking, man, I could have sworn they put him in there. Like I remember him putting something in that room, or in that drawer, but I couldn't remember exactly what. Now, my autistic ass could not stop like thinking. Like I thought about it the entire time. Like I didn't like do anything about it. Like I just thought about it. Well, anyway, the night ends, and like and mind you, I've been to this person's house multiple times, and we've hung out outside of like, I mean, we've hung out within our friend group outside of his house as well a couple times. Zero issues, no problems whatsoever. So I, at the end of the night, we're all packing up, and then we're just kind of like standing around. Um, Sorry for being stream distracted. I'm pulling up the screenshot of the conversation. So we're all standing around in their kitchen. It's like an open concept. So they're standing like
Mhm.
next to their island and then opens up to the living room. And literally 10 feet away is that drawer. So I literally just kind of go up. I walk away from the group in full view of 5 other people. I open the drawer. I close the drawer. I open the drawer next to it. I open it. I close it. I don't pick anything up out of the drawer. I don't rifle anything through the drawer. Literally, my hand does not go in the drawer at all. I just look at it, look at like, see, oh, the token's not in there. I close it. I go back to join the group.
Yeah.
Nothing said, nothing. So, next morning, I get a text saying, "Hey, Amanda, I saw you looking through our drawers last night. That was such an invasion of privacy that you are no longer invited over to our house. I'm sure you didn't mean anything by it, but that still doesn't make it okay. I hope you understand." And this is like the following like 3 days, I went through like the 5 stages of grief, and like the first one is denial. So I was like, "Wait, are you serious? I was just trying to find the tokens. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean anything by it." I said, "Please don't let me not be a part of the group anymore. I didn't mean any harm." And he said, "I understand that. And like I said, I'm sure you didn't mean anything. You didn't mean it wrong, but that was such an overstep and violation of our house. We don't feel like we can trust you over anymore." So, like I said, I understand. And people were like, "Well, you should have looked through the drawer. That's not your house." I understand that. I do. I completely 100% understand that. It's more the fact of like, and I brought this up to Nikki and like other friends, like every single person that like I've talked to about this, like even without saying like what it's about, I said, what would you do if someone in your house that you knew, that's been to your house multiple times, opened a drawer in full view of you, that's in your living room, entry, whatever, basically in the communal area of your house? What
Yeah.
would you do? Not a single one of them said, "I would ban them from my house and say they completely broke my trust and violated my privacy."
Right.
Because in my mind, like I'm thinking, like, okay, so I'm putting myself in his shoes. Okay, so if I told someone, no, though that won't be in the drawer, like I have an end table in my living room. And so if I was saying, "Oh, I don't know, I don't think it would be in that drawer," and then they later go and open the drawer in full view of me, I would be like, "Oh, hey, what you doing?" And they'd be like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I'm just looking for the tokens or whatever it is. I'm just seeing if they're in here." I'm like, "Oh, well, no, I didn't think they would be."
Right.
That's it.
End of story.
End of
Right.
story. Like,
Right.
uh, I'm like, am I? And I'm like, just hypothetical. Like, am I wrong here? Like, I don't understand. Like, maybe I'm just not getting it. Like, I
Yeah.
understand. Like I said, understand. Shouldn't have from the drawer. But it's also like now I am like kicked out of this group basically because we can't really do these sessions anywhere else.
Right.
He has the best house for it, and they just had a baby, so it's best if they just have it at their house, so they have the
Hmm.
baby. And so I message Jay, my friend, and I'm like, hey, like, to see, and this, like I said, I've known Jay a lot longer, and like he's the one that we, ever introduced everyone. Like we have a group of 5 people. They're basically all our common denominator is this guy. So I message him after I get that text, and I said, "I'm sure you already know, but apparently I'm not allowed at A's house anymore, so I guess we won't be doing D&D. I was looking for the tokens, and he said it was invasion of privacy, so he no longer trusts me to be in his house. I'm trying to convince him I didn't mean anything by it, that I wasn't trying to be malicious." He said, "Well, we didn't see anything, so I can't really say about it. So that is really between you and him. So yeah, I don't know. And I'm thinking, and so this is where like it started to morph from like depression because I like was crying, like full on crying at this point. Like so it started morphing into once I thought about it more and more into anger because I'm thinking, and like you said, how you always kind of feel like you're like the outsider of like a group or whatever. For me, it's the same thing. It's like, and this is why I explained to Scott yesterday, just in general, like not necessarily with you and him, but just in general of like my whole life. Like I always felt like I am, and I even told this to Jay. I said, I feel like I'm the odd one out. I was the lowest on the totem pole of this friend group. And also it's like, and I told you on our phone call, if this would have happened, like if anyone else in this group did what I did, that would not be the reaction that they got. They
Right.
might, like I said, I understand like if you were annoyed. I would be annoyed of like I said, I'd be kind of like, hey, what are you doing? Nope, not in there. Okay, bye. And then so wouldn't ban that person. So my thought process is, okay, so you're not even obviously you knew to me it reads as you knew that this happened. Like, because he said, yeah, I didn't see anything. So it seems like he already knew what I was talking about, meaning
Right.
either A, messaged him that night after we all left, because we all at the same time, after we left, and he messaged him right then, or he messaged me and then he messaged Jay.
Hmm.
Um, and so like, and I didn't see the text like for several hours because he sent it like early in the morning. And so my thing is, okay, so did you even try to defend me or say, maybe rethink that? Like, she didn't mean anything by it, like, whatever. Because even like, in the later text was like, no, there's no redo. Because like I said, I got to the bargaining thing. I'm like, he's like, there's no redo. I'm thinking, well, you're not a very forgiving fucking person then. Like,
Right.
you're acting like I'm some psychotic criminal like I said, it'd be different if one, I did it when they were all in the other room that they couldn't see me, and he walked in to me doing it.
Right.
That'd be different. I wasn't in the other room. I was in the same room where all five people had full view of me if they wanted to.
Right.
Uh, 10 feet away in an open concept space. And I didn't go through their bedroom. Like I even used their bathroom. Like, are you worried? Like, did you take inventory of the soap? Are you worried that I take did you make sure I didn't take your soap? Did you make sure I
Right.
didn't rifle through your medicine cabinet? Like, might want to check because apparently I'm this untrustworthy criminal
Right.
that I invaded your space when I'm like, I'm in your house. I don't, and so, like, as I explained to Scott, he goes, which granted, Scott and I have been friends, for 20 years at this point. So
Right.
it's just, and he's like, I'm just thinking of all the times, like, because he has a drawer, like a table next to his entry, like in his entryway that has like
Hmm.
pencils, pens, whatever, just random odds and ends. And I look in there if I want to get a pencil or a pen or something. He goes, I just think all the times you open that drawer to go looking for something, and I'll be like, oh hey, what you looking for? Oh, I'm looking for a pencil. Oh yeah, we moved the pencils over here. That's the end of the fucking story.
Right. Right.
Like,
Like
like,
it's not like you're
it's
trying to be nosy or some shit. It's you were literally looking for something you used to play the game
yeah. And
in
so,
full, like you said, full view of everybody.
and
It's
I'm
not like
not
they caught
like
you snooping through their fucking underwear drawer or something.
Yeah, that's what baffles me. And so it got to the anger part because so I just preemptively to basically save my own feelings. I deleted all of them from my phone, like the group chat that we had for the D&D group, all their numbers, and then I removed whoever I had on Facebook, I removed. And so I feel bad at one point because it's like there was a guy who super nice. He like, but I'm also thinking, okay, granted, he didn't know me enough to where I feel like I don't feel like he's obligated to defend me, but I'm also like, okay, is he going to if he knows by now, did he even question it?
Right.
Like, and this is what I got with Scott yesterday. I'm like, I just feel like I'm so insignificant to people. Like, I feel like my relationship with people matter more to me than their relationship with me matter to them. Like, I
Right.
feel like in a relationship, like, basically, if I were to just disappear, and I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying like for you and Scott, I'm saying for just anyone else in my life, like acquaintances, coworkers, friends, that I consider friends or whatever, that I can not necessarily close to it, you know what I mean? If I were to
Yeah.
just disappear, like how badly would that affect them? And I don't mean in like, well, I'm just gonna make sure just to test them. No, it just how I'm trying to phrase this right. It's just it's kind of like I feel like if me and someone else got into a fight, I'm always the first one to apologize because it's like
Yeah.
I just want to get it done and over with, and I feel like if I don't apologize, they're never going to apologize. Like they're never going to be the first one. Like usually when I have a fight with someone, I am always the first one to like reach out. I rarely have the other person reach out and apologize first, or because it's like if I disappear from like their life for that brief moment, it's like they moved on so quickly that I was just a blip on their radar.
Right.
So it turned to anger because I'm thinking, okay, did he even, the Jay even, like I said, even defend me? Even say, well, maybe just, like I said, rethink that, just reconsider, or she didn't mean anything by it. And
Right. She's not like she's really not someone that you couldn't trust in your house.
yeah,
She might have went about it in a way that made you feel uncomfortable and she would apologize for that, but she genuinely meant no harm by what she was doing. Like she's
yeah,
not an untrustworthy person. And it does seem like either he tried and it didn't go anywhere and just didn't relay that to you, or he didn't bother. And that's
yeah.
shitty either way.
Because Scott brought the point. He goes, yeah, even if like he's like if I was him, because Scott knows Jay. He goes, if I was him, I would have been like, yeah, I tried talking him down and it didn't work. Like even if that's a lie, that would make me
Hmm.
feel better. Like yeah, like but no, it's like well that's really between you and him.
Right.
Like work it out. It's like okay, I get that. I get that because that's his house and that's his right to ban whoever he wants from it. But it's also like that means I'm completely out of the group because I don't hang out with Jay outside of a friend group because we originally like we met, and he's married and I'm not into married guys or anything like that. I'm not into him like that. But it's more like I only hang out with him with other people. And the group we had originally, one moved to Pennsylvania and one just got busy with work and kids and all that. And so we didn't have that group anymore. So he met this other guy and started hanging out with him and everything. And so now we just every time we did like a activity, we just did as a group with this guy and his wife, including being at Jay's house. And so now I really can never be a part of any activity, any group activity with them because I never am able to really hang out with Jay by ourselves, which I don't really want to because just reasons. And so it's like it'd just be so fucking awkward. Like
Yeah.
at this point, even if A text me, which they never will, but even if they text me and are like, "Oh yeah, we thought about it, blah blah, maybe we'll just give you another chance." I can never go back to that fucking house.
No.
Like every time I left the room, I'd be worried that like I'd be interrogated or
Right.
something. And so, because now they obviously think so ill of me that you're willing to ban me from your house because I looked in a drawer in full view of you, um, that I obviously am a terrible person in your eyes.
Right.
So the whole anger thing is like, okay, you guys never even considered what this does to me, how this made me feel, how anything. And then to like, so as soon as I got home, I threw away my character sheets. Like I said, deleted them all on my phone. I off of Facebook because I didn't want to go on Facebook one day and just see that they removed me
Yeah.
from. So basically just preemptively saving my feelings. And so I, like I said, threw away my character sheet, threw away the notes from the notebook from our sessions, all that. And I found that I had like these like little loot cards. You get these when you play D&D, you get like if you quest or chest or whatever, you get these little cards that signify things. And so I had four of them, I think. And so I sent them to um Jay, and I know he got them, but he has yet to say anything. And I know he
Yeah.
won't because he is very passive, which is fine. Like he's just a passive person, but the whole like, hey, I got your cards, or oh, thanks for returning the cards to me. But like, just the whole that would not even register. Like, oh, she returned the cards. That means she's never out of the completely out of the friend group. And so to me, it's like, does that even matter to you? I feel like I don't matter enough. Like I see value in myself, but it's and like I'm questioning like my value to other people because obviously
Yeah.
like if I like they go to their next D&D session, they're just gonna act like nothing, like I never existed.
Right.
So that's what like hurt a lot, and that's like what mainly really start getting the whole flipping between depression and anger, because they're just gonna completely move on as if I didn't exist, as if I don't matter. And so
Yeah.
it's the whole, and it's also like the whole RSD thing. Like I feel rejection so much more deeply than most people, and I just don't think they understand that. And I don't know if they would even care if they did. So
Yeah.
if they knew how much it hurt me to basically be kicked out of a friend group and basically lose this group of friends and basically lose an activity that I like doing. And so that's what pissed me off so much. But then, like I told you, would have this have happened if I had a neurotypical brain? Like I could have like if I feel like if I wasn't autistic, I could have let it go. I could have been like,
Yeah.
okay, they're not in the drawer. And yes, you can be like, well, I mean, you can do that like non-autistic people would maybe some non-autistic people would check the drawer, or some autistic people wouldn't check the drawer, whatever. But I'm just saying, I feel like there's something that if something to say that if I wasn't like this, it would have been easier to let it go and
Yeah.
just move on and not look in the drawer, this mighty drawer that they apparently keep all their secrets in, like social security cards and treasure and sex toys. I don't know. And they just keep
Yeah.
it all in their drawer, this front entryway drawer. So that's what really got to me. Like like literally every time I thought about either having a conversation or the ramifications of it, like I cry. Like my eyes hurt so much from crying, and that's I'm just kind of numb at this point. So right now I'm like moving into like 60% acceptance, and it's still like 30% anger and then 10%
Yeah.
depression. Because I'm still like the fact of no one's reached out to me, no one's like just nothing. And so it's like I that's how little I matter. And that's how like and I like I said that's how I felt my entire life with a lot of relationships, like friendships, whatever. I feel like I if I mess up in the slightest, like I lose friendships, whereas I'm a pretty forgiving person when it comes to people treating me like shit. And so um I feel like, and I told Scott, I was like, I feel like if I ever got in an abusive relationship, I would be the person that stays because it's like, well, I can't get anywhere else. So,
Yeah.
and so
Well, that makes me sad.
yeah. So it's like, I don't know if that would ever be the case, but because I don't have that experience, but I'm just thinking like, I feel like most of my relationships are me 90% give and 10% receive. That
Right.
I give a lot more thought and emotion and value to relationships that people give to me, and that's what like really hurts. And so that's when I told Scott, I said that's what mainly really think about. It's like, okay, well, I'm a lot better now, like in a better place than now than I am like than I was like 2 years ago. So I'm not like, and also I'm medicated, so that kind of helps. Like I'm not completely falling
Yeah.
off the deep end. Like the fact that I got my crying session over in 3 days is a miracle in and of fucking self. Like I got
Right.
like where I'm like 60% okay with it after this the fourth day.
Yeah.
I'm still angry about it, but it's like I'm not in a pit of despair.
Right.
Um, so that's just what got me about that whole situation. It's just see like apparently I didn't matter enough to even put forth an effort to try to keep me in the group. So that's what just really rustled my feathers.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Like I said, I told Nikki that I was like, this might be my crying episode, but I've cried out. Like I
Yeah.
can't cry anymore. My eyes literally are sore from crying.
Yeah.
So I'm just you won't catch me crying on camera today. Sorry, guys.
I don't know. I feel like this is probably a very prevalent um experience in the autistic community. I know I've had similar experiences to this. Um, especially for undiagnosed autistic people or late diagnosed autistic people, where they can look back on their life and see the times where they've maybe given more than they should have to a friendship or a intimate relationship, and it didn't end well for them, and it ended with a large, realization that that person just didn't give a shit about you like you cared about them. And I don't want to talk about it too much on here, but like I shared my experience with my other friend of 20 years, been friends just a little bit longer than you and I have. I That person was going through a very rough patch in their life, and I was dealing with a lot of my own things, and I felt like there were several instances where when I tried to reach out about the things that were going on in their life, that they were not in a space to talk about those things. So I quit pressing. And that was construed as me backing off and not wanting to be a part of their life.
Because there's like a
And then,
fine line between
yeah,
I want to support you and I want to be there for you, but I also don't want to push you.
right. And that's what I tried to explain, because I felt like every time I would try to ask about the situations that were going on, it was met with a, or we'll talk about it another time. I don't have any, I don't have any energy left to talk about it. I'm too tired to talk about it, or it's, not the right time, or I'd offered to try to come up and see that person, and it was, oh, we'll try to get together. That particular instance was like 4 months from now, and I'm like, okay, like
Mm-hmm.
there's so many things that were weird to me that contributed to me, I don't want to say backing off, but I guess they're right in that sense. I did back off a little bit because I felt like every time I would inquire, I would get shut down. So at some point, you're going to stop inquiring, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's only normal. And it wasn't a stop inquiring out of spite. It was me trying to honor what they were asking me and not
Mm-hmm.
push, right? When they're telling me, please, not now, right? What am I going to do? Crawl up their ass and be like, no, tell me anyway? Like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to respect your boundary at this point that you're very clearly placing. And that turned into me being, an absent friend, and them ending our friendship because of it. And it I still don't think that's like fully processed for me. It has a
Mm-hmm.
little bit, but like I know it hasn't fully because I haven't like had a cry session about it yet. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just like denial or what, but I can relate in a sense of being a feeling like you aren't you aren't as cherished or as thought of or as accepted or welcomed or cared for by your friends, as it's not the same level of care that you give them. It's not the same
Right.
level of investment that you give to them. And it always seems to become apparent in situations like this where there is distance or there's some sort of misunderstanding. And instead of it being discussed and worked through, it's used as an opportunity to end the friendship.
Right.
And it almost is like it's an excuse to do something that they've been wanting to do for a really long time. And this particular event just gave them the opportunity to do it anyway.
And
Do you know what I
then
mean?
and then you're going through all the scenarios of like, well,
Uh-huh.
what led to this? And like you're just
All of the how
racking
could
your
it have been
brain.
my fault? Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Instead of what's wrong with that person that they did this to me, it's what did I do to deserve this? And then you literally replay every single interaction you can possibly recall with that person and analyze and dissect yourself and how you behaved and what you said. And maybe I could have said this differently. And maybe that's why they're upset. Well, maybe I can reach out and explain myself about that situation and da 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 da. And it's like the reality is most people don't just drop you on a whim, right? Most people don't, especially not in my situation. Like, you don't just end a 20+ year friendship.
Like
You
basically
just don't.
that
Like,
person would have had to check out a
a
while
long time
ago.
ago. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I say 20-year friendship, I mean like this person was like a sibling to me. So like you and I, like we knew everything about each other's lives. Watched one of their children be born. So like there's a genuine bond, or so I thought there was a genuine bond there. And I obviously that's not the case, because when I offered to try to hear that person out and apologized for whatever I did to make them feel like they couldn't, you know, trust me anymore and couldn't be friends with me anymore, and I offered to hear them out, it was met with no thanks, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good without you. Don't need you.
Right.
So it's not um it's not the best feeling in the fucking world to be just
Like
dismissed,
dropped, like set off
dropped
to the
and
side.
dismissed.
It's
Yeah,
like I said, it's the whole like if I don't talk to someone for a while, I am, even if we didn't fight or anything, if I feel like I rarely have other people reach out to me as if basically it's like, okay, how often do other people think about me? How often
right.
do I come up in a conversation like fondly, whatever, or like, oh, I need to reach out to Amanda. Or I'm thinking about Amanda, so I'm gonna reach out to her. Like, I mean, it has happened. I'm not saying it never happens. I'm just saying I feel like it doesn't happen in the number of times like I do it for other people. In the
Right.
amount of times that I reach out to that person, that every time I fight with someone, I'm always the one apologizing. Even if I don't feel like I'm in the wrong, I feel like I have to smooth things over because it's like I feel like I can't lose this friendship or this relationship or whatever. And so I feel like I have to make things right because if I don't, nothing will get done. Nothing will
Yeah.
happen because it's like they will just move on as if I didn't matter, as if I didn't have enough value in their life
Right.
to warrant trying to fix it. And so like you said, like that's what really like this whole like thing clarity. It's like, okay, well obviously I wasn't worth the effort to keep as a friend. So
Yeah.
I didn't hold much value. And so and I because I didn't want Scott to think I went out the deep end and like a bout of depression. It's like, no, I still think like I still hold value in myself. This isn't
Right.
like I'm like but it's more like how other people see me.
Right.
Why don't these people care about me the way I care about them? I don't
Yeah.
understand like that like I'm saying like a lot, I'm sorry. But
It's
I'm trying to
okay.
stop. But it's just what am I like what and it's also like what am I doing wrong? Like what am I it's like I know I'm fucking awkward because one of the things I brought up is just like one of these people in this group I know didn't care for me. Like they tolerated me. I could tell they were civil, but Ganelli, they never really liked me. And I even looked at their Facebook and they added everyone else in our friend group, even people that they were met once. And I know that because I was there. So they added everyone else in our friend group as friends, like 13, like 10, 12, 13 mutual friends. And then when I tried adding them as a friend,
It was no thank you.
it was no thank you. I don't want to be friends with you on Facebook. And I know it's juvenile, like I'm in my fucking 30s. I shouldn't care who wants to be my friend on Facebook. But it's more like the whole, okay, what did I do
Right.
to make it to where you are willing, especially you are willing to be friends with someone who I know at one point you felt threatened by based on your reaction to this person that I saw firsthand. You're willing to be friends with them on Facebook where I am nothing but nice to you. I just say all these nice things to you and I try to, try I'm not saying we have to be buddy buddies, but the whole I don't understand why like what's wrong with me to where like what did I do wrong? That
Yeah.
sort of thing. So it's like what did I do to make it to where I wasn't worthy of being your friend, but all these other
Right.
people who one of who I know you didn't care for, you added them on Facebook or you added someone on Facebook that you met one time.
Yeah.
So and I haven't seen in 2 years. So that's what like baffles me, the whole and even Scott said he goes, this is all very high school, not as like a bash to me. He just
Right.
means to them. He goes, how can he goes, I'm so fucking sorry that happened. I don't understand how someone could do that. Like he's like,
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. He goes, you didn't go into, like you said, didn't go into their bedroom, didn't sneak off and like while everyone else is out of the room. And he goes, I don't
Yeah.
understand. He's like, that's such an extreme overreaction. And he's like, of course I don't see it from their side. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
thank God. I was so worried. I was like, because he's like, well, I do see things from other. Before I told him the story, he's like, well, I do
Yeah.
see things from all sides. I'm like, I understand that, and that's where and I'm worried about. I need comfort. I don't
Yeah.
need pragmatic Scott. I need my friend is crying, and I need to comfort her, Scott.
Yeah.
Basically the whole and Ann Perkins and Chris Traeger, like her
Yes.
venting to him, he going, "That sucks,"
Yeah.
and instead of giving a solution, that sort
Hmm.
of thing. I think that's what like I was at my mom's house when I got this text, and my mom, bless her, I love her, but some of her solutions for things are not the best. Because she's like, well, why don't you call him? Why would I call him? So he
Yeah.
knows how upset you are. Do you think I don't have any dignity? That I'm gonna
Right.
call someone crying after they ban me from their house?
Right.
No. I'm not gonna do that. She's like, well, like it might change his mind. Well, obviously not, because he told me that there's no redo. He obviously has
Right.
no forgiveness in his heart, so that's not gonna work. And
Right.
so I'm not gonna lower myself crawling on my belly to this person to beg them to let me back in their house.
No.
No. Like I might not have the highest self-esteem, but even I am not willing to do that.
Right.
Okay. So like literally everyone I like told, like I talked to you, like Tyler and Mark at the same time, and then Tyler was more like he's like, "Well, I'd be really annoyed." I said, "But would you ban them from your house?" He goes, "No." I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, that's my point. I understand being annoyed." Um and just like so everyone I've told have been like that's fucking weird. Like,
Yeah. That's
it,
why I
like,
said I think they were looking for an excuse already. Like,
mm-hmm,
I think they were looking for a reason or an excuse of some kind to remove you from the group,
mm-hmm,
and this was their chance, right?
right,
Because it is an extreme reaction to a rather benign thing, right?
right,
Like Tyler said, maybe someone would be incredibly annoyed, like, what the fuck is this girl doing going through our shit? But, like, it's extreme to be banned from someone's home for really much other than like verbal abuse, destruction of property, physical abuse. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
general disdain of the human. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a pretty big deal to be banned from someone's home. So like you're talking like borderline criminal behavior, right? So like
mm-hmm,
I don't get it other than this was an opportunity to remove you. And I'm sorry that that's like the conclusion, but I
mm-hmm,
really do think that they've probably been waiting for an opportunity, and that's shitty. It's
mm-hmm,
shitty, but I just don't see any other reason why they would have chose to go about it this way
mm-hmm.
than
They woke up and
that.
chose violence. Woke up and chose
Correct.
violence. Mm-hmm,
So I mean, I just think in those scenarios, unfortunately, we learn a very shitty lesson to learn, which is we did not properly pick our people, right?
yeah,
Not that you could have seen that coming, right? I couldn't have seen this shit with my situation coming, although I was a little concerned, but I didn't see it literally ending a 20 plus year friendship.
mm-hmm,
Um, I, it's just one of those things where at the end of the day, if those people want to remove you from their lives, you should let them. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
That's why
let
like I
them.
said, like even if they're like even if Jay was like, oh, we're having a get together at my house, I'm like, okay, well, are these people gonna be there? Well, yeah. Okay, I'm not going. Like,
Yeah.
no, sorry, I'm not going because that's just too fucking awkward. Because obviously, like I said, I can't. they don't trust me to be around them, so
Right.
why would I want to hang out with them? Like that's like
Exactly.
actively going to hang out with people that hate you.
Yeah.
So I
Stupid. Like
so and the fact, yeah.
I can have like I can let you remove yourself from my life and not have, contact with you and still wish you well, but like we don't got to hang out. We don't got to pretend to like each other. If this is what it is, then this is what it is. Like we're done. If we're done, we're done. If you've said no, then it's no. Like you don't get to say no and then be like, "Oh, but you can do this, that, and the other thing." Mm-mm. If we're done, we're
Mm,
done, right? Like
yeah.
we're not doing that. And it does kind of make you look desperate to show up somewhere where these people are. It makes you look like you have no self-esteem and no self-worth, and that's not who you are as a person. So maybe it's just a no, right? It's just a
Yeah.
no for me. It's a no for me. Thank you.
Hmm.
It's okay. Like, what is that? Is that American? No, it's not American Idol. It's is it X Factor? Where they
Yeah.
like, it's a no
That's a
for
no
me.
for
I'm
me, dog.
sorry.
It's a no for
Yeah,
me,
it's a
dog.
no for me, dog. Yeah. So like, it's really like one of those things where when it's like the epitome of people, if when people show you who they are, believe them. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
when someone shows you who they are, believe them. So I feel like those were not your people. And even though it's painful and it's like rightfully so, right? Like rightfully so, it's a painful situation. There's something that being removed from your life freed up time for something else to come in that is worth your time. Do you know what I
Hmm.
mean? What that
Yeah.
is right now, we don't know. But obviously this was not meant to be something that you continued to spend your time on because these people clearly have no um they have no care for you, they have no respect for you, and
Or
you
just
don't need
even
to waste your
grace,
time
like
or even
not even,
grace. Like
yeah.
you don't need to waste your time in the presence of people who do not have anything but love for you. Do you know what I mean? Or a bare minimum fucking respect for you.
Right.
And especially back on that word grace, it's like I felt in my situation, it's like, well, you're allowed to back off, right?
And
And
ghost, basically.
ghost and not tell me things and, you know, disinclude me from shit. But when I read the room and give you the space you're asking for, then the friendship is over and we're done, right? Then it's my fault. I backed off. I made it to where that person felt like they had to end things, right? It was my fault. And I think that's real convenient. I am the type of person that when there's a problem, which you know this, there's an issue, let's fucking talk about it. I want to address it. I want to hit it head on. My favorite saying, I can't fix things I don't know about, right? I can't fix a problem I don't know about. It's my favorite fucking saying. So if there's a fucking problem and we've been friends for 20 plus years, don't you think you'd have said, bitch, what is going on with you? You ain't
Hmm.
talked to me in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you have said, like, what the fuck over? Right? You would
Hmm.
have said something to me. You wouldn't have just let me disappear. I don't even let you disappear for more than 24 hours. Okay. I'm like, hello, hooker, are you dead? Like, I do
Yeah,
not let
she
you
she
disappear.
went from like 3 p.m. until like 7 p.m. She's like, is this one of those times where you act like you're dead or something like that? I go, ma'am, that was actually the day that I was hanging out with them. And so I
Yeah.
was like, well, one, I was driving when you text the first time, and then I was at their house until just this moment. So no, I just was busy. Because there are times where I do like when it comes to the weekends, it's kind of like I just kind of like throw my phone off to the side and ignore
Yeah.
it because I know
Which
which I
you're
know,
allowed to do,
yeah.
but I've
So
asked
it's
her to please let me know when she's going to enter recluse mode so that I'm not
mhm.
like, bitch, are you alive? Calling Scott, calling her mother. Like, I will blow up everybody's phone if I don't hear from her. So, like, it's not, I don't play games with this woman. If I don't hear from her, it's like, bitch, are you dead? Right.
Mhm.
So, like, I'm not, I'm not here for the bullshit of like, well, it's all your fault. Like, no, it's not all my fault. There's been shit that's gone on both sides of the fence that I'm sure there's apologizing in place for. But like, if you don't bring it up that you're upset, I'm not going to push that fucking issue with you. I don't
And
know
also,
if you
it's
don't
also
tell
like
me.
we're like natural problem solvers. It's
Correct.
like you said, you can't fix what, you don't know about, but it's also like I don't how do I phrase this? Because my brain is starting to leak out of my ears.
Yeah, I know we're probably running up on time, so
Yeah. So it's like, okay, so I'm willing to fix this, but you need to meet me halfway.
correct.
So, or even like I just try a little bit because it's like constantly having to reach out to someone for just anything is exhausting. And
Right.
I get it to where like I get being at the point where you feel like you can't talk to anybody. But all you have to say is, and like I know she said this, I know she's like, I don't have it in me to say about it, but you can't just keep kicking the can down the road and then
Right.
getting upset when the person tries to pick up the can down the road that you kicked
Mm-hmm.
and you're mad at it now. Like you're mad.
Right.
Like, why well, how dare you do like how dare you try to do this now? Like I've been trying like, ma'am, you're the one pushing the situation further and
Right.
further away. I'm just letting you do it. Like if
Yeah.
you're telling me that you don't want to communicate, am I supposed to set like a calendar reminder every week to like check up on you? But then at that point, that would annoy you. Like it's like a
Right.
no win situation because it's like either
Exactly. That's how I felt. It's like if I keep pushing, they're going to get irritated, right? And they're going to back off even further, and then it's a fight. But if I apparently me backing off like they asked was also not what they wanted either. And I feel like that's if I can look back, like hindsight being 2020, anytime there's been like we haven't fought very much, but like anytime there's been like a disagreement or an issue, it's a big huge blow up and we don't speak, right? And that person will dump everything I've ever done wrong and then
into one
cut me
long
off.
message.
Right. And
Yeah.
then cut me off. And it's like obviously you've been thinking about a lot of things I've been doing or saying have been bothering you. So it's like instead of waiting until you literally can't take it anymore and you're so pissed you could kill me to say something, could you just fucking tell me when I've upset you and then we can talk about it and then we can move on? Like I don't that's how you resolve shit as an adult. You fucking talk about it. And I'm sorry that at almost 34 years old, I am in a time in my life where I am incredibly fucking busy. I have an entire myriad of shit that I am responsible for, on top of which I am fucking neurodivergent. I only have so many goddamn spoons in a day. I didn't see this person checking up on me all the fucking time. So, God forbid, a couple of times you've texted after weeks of not hearing from you and have been like pissed because I didn't get back to you right away. You know what I mean? Like, I will not and cannot be everything to everybody all the time. And I'm curious if, like, part of them feeling the way they felt was that it's like you and I have time to do this. So why don't you have time to call and talk to me or text me or whatever? And like for that part, I can understand and apologize. But like, I am also a human and I was going through a lot of my own shit at the same time and trying to navigate all of these relationships and all these responsibilities. And at some point, the ball's going to get dropped, right? At some point, I can't do everything all the time. But there was, going back to that word grace, there's no fucking grace for me when it happens. None whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Forget about all the many times I could fucking think of where massive grace was given to this person for how they've treated me, what they've said to me over the 20 plus years we've been together as friends, not together, but like 20 plus years we've been friends. Zero for me. Fucking zero.
Mm-hmm.
I mess up, I'm done. And it's like, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I'm sure it's something that person needs to work through on their own time, and I hope that they do. But like, that is volatile. That is not trustworthy. That is not a safe relationship to be in. If every time I mess up, I'm cut off. Do you know what I mean? And I
Mm-hmm.
do think, like you said, that people pleasing thing, like I can think back on the 20 plus years we were friends and the fact that we didn't fight very much was mainly because a lot of times when I felt that person did something that was shitty, I didn't want
You
to pick
just
the
forgave
fight.
them. Yeah, or you just
Yeah.
like instantly forgave them.
Because I knew that if, the track record, if I picked the fight, I'm cut off. So
Right.
it's like, and I didn't want to lose that person because they meant everything to me. and I didn't want to lose that person. So I didn't pick the fight. And it's like, but on top of not picking the fight, it's not that I wasn't holding, I chose to just forgive and move on. It's not about like I didn't pick the fight and then I held on to that for the rest of our friendship together. And every time they made me even more mad, I added it on top of the fucking pile until I blew up on them and ended it on them. Like, this is 20 plus years. And I've never been like, we're done being friends.
Mm-hmm.
Never once in 20 plus years have I looked at that person and said, fuck you, I'm done. Right? But they've done it to me now twice. So it's really frustrating. So I'm just saying I get it. I don't want to make this about me. I'm just saying I get it. But I do feel like it's about that time. Unless you have anything else you would like to add, ma'am, I do think we should probably wrap it up.
No, I think I said my piece multiple times. It's just, like I said, if we just, our brains just work differently, and I mean, everyone's brains works differently, but it's the point of like being able to let things go. Just is either like letting that sort of thing go is hard, but then letting go of relationship is hard for us too, because it's like, well, this person was treating me like this, but I can't let the relationship go because it's like I won't have anything else.
Right.
Like you said, like I've briefly talked about this where I had a friend who that was a neighbor, since 10 years old, and I went to another neighbor's house, another friend, and they were putting a pool in their yard and said a bunch of dirt piles, and I went and hung out with them, and they literally rubbed dirt and crumbled dirt on my head and in my hair, and I still remained friends with them because it's like, well, if I get mad or if I try to speak up for myself, I will basically lose that, friendship, like friendship,
Right.
quote unquote friendship. And so it's like I won't have anyone else. Like these are people that are my neighbors, and if I lose them, then I won't have anyone to hang out with. I won't have people at school to hang out with. So that's the whole, like I said, staying in like abusive relationships. Like I said, I don't know obviously what I would do in this relation, like a situation like that. I would hope that I would like not put up with it. But it's
Yeah.
also like my track record, at least with friends, it's like what would I go through to keep someone in my life? So that sort of thing. So I think
Yeah.
we get each other in that sort of respect.
Yeah. And like I told you the other day, I cut a bitch for you.
Mm-hmm. And I sent you that
So
thing. It's like I help my friend bury a body, you know?
that's right.
Mm-hmm. And we have ADHD,
She,
we'll just forget where it is.
that's right. Yeah, like she is my ride or die bitch. She just never, what is it? She never steers me wrong without my permission. It's like, do you want me to tell you the truth or do you want to go to Deluluville?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. But yeah, like I
Mm-hmm.
feel like you really are like the only friend. Like, yeah, there's been periods of time where we've gotten in one fight. But it was like when I was in Deluluville and it was like my fault for being ridiculous. And I
Yeah,
feel
because
like,
I can think of one. I don't know if we're thinking about the same one, but I'm thinking of like one, and it ended up with me like I was in like at Walmart, and we were in the middle of our conversation, like texting,
yeah.
and I start crying, and this lady apparently I was trying to hold it in. This lady, this older lady in the aisle, she's like, Is everything okay, dear?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what chips I want to buy." Like as
Oh,
I'm tears in my eyes. Like that.
yeah.
It's like I'm sure it's okay.
Oh my gosh.
She's like,
Yeah,
okay, well.
we've touched on this. I was not always the most gentle human in the world, okay? I used to be quite the ridiculous human. Still can be sometimes, but there's definitely been times where you and I have stopped talking for a little while, but not because
Not
we were
maliciously,
like,
like not
yeah,
like
not maliciously, like,
it's just we were living our own lives because we're two fucking
yeah,
adults who understand that, like, yes, we try to check up on each other or whatever, and we
right.
talk more now than we did before because of the show, but it's also like even before that, it's like we could go at least a month or two without
Yeah.
talking, and we would just like, hey, how's it going? Like we had
Yeah.
just
Like, oh my God, I'm sorry I forgot the world existed other than what I was doing in my own life. How are you? Are you alive? What is
mhm,
life? And there was
mhm.
never like a fuck you, bitch. Where have you been? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just be like, yeah, me too. Sorry. Like, it just is what it is. But I mean, fuck, like with Scott, the first time I had really had a lot of conversation with him in fucking years was what right before the wedding. And it's like, we just picked up like I hadn't not talked to him in fucking a year. Do you know what I mean? It's like we're adults. Like, is that ideal that happens? Do I want that to be the case with the people that I love? No. But like sometimes that fucking happens and you can't help it. And the test is like, will these people, the people who will accept you back with no questions asked after, you know, you just accidentally dropped off the fucking face of the earth, are the people who really know who you are, because those people aren't thinking the worst of you, right? I've been thinking about this for a long time too, which maybe this could be its own episode, but like, I'm tired of associating with people who automatically think the worst of me off bat. Do you know what I mean? Like, anything I say and do is automatically viewed in a certain lens of negative. And I feel like I've had a lot of experience with that too. So maybe we'll talk about that. Maybe this will be like a part 2 kind of thing. Maybe we'll talk about that next time, where it's like how most things that neurodivergent people or autistic people, how they're perceived is almost immediately questioned or in a negative light because of maybe an interaction with a neurotypical that was misunderstood, right? Like one instance of misunderstanding now coats you in this negative light that you will never get away from. But okay, let's wrap it up. Let's roll the credits. If you are sticking around, Jeremy is just on the other side of the transition here in just a second. Let me spit out all of the things and all the places people can find us. So everywhere socials are platformed, our social media handle is the same. It's at the NDC podcast. So THENDC podcast. Everywhere socials are platformed. We have a Twitter. We have an Instagram. We have a Facebook. We have a Discord. We have, what else? I think YouTube? I signed us up for, YouTube. We have an email as well. If you'd like to be on the show, if you'd like to talk to us in a long form, way, any of that jazz, send us an email at thenDCpodcast@gmail.com. So you can do that there. Everything's linked in the show notes as always. Please, I'm going to get it posted tonight because I think I've finished the thing. I'm going to get posted tonight. The meme shelf. I'm going to pin a post to our Facebook page. Only the Facebook page, because something already exists on Discord. And for whatever reason, you people won't fucking go over there. It's fine. That's just our personal hangout space with Ray and now Micah. So, which is Ray's partner. That's our personal hangout space over there with them. Since y'all don't want to come hang out with us, it's fine. Facebook will be pinned the meme shelf. Please add your neurodivergent memes to the meme shelf. I do not want to do a neurodivergent meme review with a half-ass empty meme shelf. Ray is carrying the fucking meme review right now, okay? Don't make them work alone. They need your assistance, okay? Please put some shit on the meme shelf. How you do that is you go to the pinned post and you comment with a meme, okay? Comment your favorite memes on the pinned post. Or you can put them in the Discord if you want to come hang out. But y'all ain't doing that. So, Facebook it is. Add your memes to the meme shelf. Episode 50, coming up in exactly 8 weeks. At the time you're hearing this, it'll be exactly 8 weeks. Go do that so we can have that meme review. I'm thinking might also do it live. Might stream it live. And then we'll have a playback.
Do it right. Just fucking do it live. Sorry.
Yeah, I think we're going to do it live. We'll stream it. But anyway, please go put some shit on the meme shelf. Apart from that, I don't think I'm leaving anything out. We've plugged all the socials, the email, and the meme shelf.
Did you see what animals I am?
Not yet, but we will do that after Jeremy. That is for the people who stick around for Jeremy. No, I'm sorry, but if y'all do not want to stick around for Jeremy, you do not get the anonymous animals either. Okay, if you want anonymous animals and Jeremy, you have to stick around after we cut it. So if you're not sticking around, thank you for listening as always, and we will see you next Thursday. Let's hit the credits.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. All right, folks, we're back. We're gonna go through the animals because we have a delight. Two of a delight, but we finally, I feel like this is a momentous thing. Here on episode 40, Amanda has finally gotten the option to be a squirrel!
Yay!
The ADHD Neurodivergent podcast finally got the squirrel option. Also, in our AI story document, she has the option to be a narwhal.
Narwhal.
Narwhal. Bye, buddy. Hope you find bad. That's all I can think of when I think of narwhals. Okay, so I'm assuming you're gonna choose.
Yes. I really like narwhals, but the squirrel is just iconic, you know? That's like our mascot. So I guess I'll go with that.
Okay. Yeah, we got a squirrel. It's the gift from the podcast gods gave us a squirrel. So yeah, I think we must go with squirrel. Okay. Amanda's a squirrel. Squirrel.
We're on episode 42.
Yep. Okay, and I'm reading Jeremy this time, so allow me to pull it up. Okay. Is everybody ready to go? Just a quick little recap. God damn it. Quick little recap from last week. Sympathy's lost her goddamn marbles. She's evil now. She is now the cynic princess of evil. There's a new character. Her name is Velvet. She's a black cat. Black Velvet, as we like to refer to her. For whatever reason, she was sent on a mission to find Sympathy. We don't yet know why, and we won't find out this week either. But upon meeting Velvet, Jeremy literally had a meet cute with her, ran into her, fell in fucking love at first sight. Like, have you ever seen Once Upon a Time? It's like that whole thing, right? Like how charming and what's her nuts met, like that whole thing, right?
Oh, yeah, Enchanted.
The Snow White character, whatever the fuck no, not Enchanted. The like Once Upon a Time for the TV show. How
yes.
The Prince Charming and whatever the fuck her name was, Snow White. Yeah, Snow White met. So yeah, so that it's like that, right? They ran into each other. It was a cute little tumbly thingy, right? She's a bitch. She's like, fuck you. I don't need you. I don't need no man, right? I can do it myself. I'm a badass beach, right? So she's playing the hard to get, and Jeremy's like, huh? Like obsessed, right? So like tongue hanging out of mouth, Google eyes, can't focus. So it fits. And Sympathy tries to kill her, and everyone's Finnegan fainted, because go figure, and everyone's running. They're fucking running, okay? And that's where we cut it off. They run in their ass off. So here we go. We're finna get into this week's episode. Here we go. This is the prompt that I gave the AI. I did help it quite a bit, but it contributed way more this time than it did last time. Last time was like 100% me. Okay, here we go. Up this way. There's a cave we can hide in. She'll never find us there, Velvet said. Jeremy, Finnegan, and Binky ran as fast as they could behind Velvet. Sympathy was still trailing them, but they had entered a dense forest, and she could not see exactly which way the group had gone. Okay, this is where the AI takes over. Sympathy gave chase for a time, but after losing several trails, soon gave up and returned to the camp. Which is wrong from here on out. Because actually, she never returned to the camp. Here we go. Where the hell did she go? Jeremy snapped. I don't know, but we have to move, said Finnegan. She could have gone anywhere, Binky said. Move faster, Velvet ordered. Of course she did. The group ran on, racing through the woods. Sympathy kept on their trail, but she's supposed to be at the camp, but she's on their trail. Okay, it's fine. Velvet, Jeremy, and Binky were all panting from their running. They reached a cliff on the edge of the forest were caught by surprise. Sympathy leaped over the cliff and came up behind them. They were frozen with only a moment to react. The night was still, and the only sound was the screeching of Sympathy, snarling in the distance. This is very cinematic. Like, you could picture this going down. Like, I have this visual in my brain of like her like like majestic fucking horse jump over a cliff, right? And then like sliding in front of them. Nay, bitches, nay! Like, I'm right here, right?
Maximus. I think of Maximus from Tangled, where him just running up.
Yes, like, and then just like stopping and like fucking I'm gonna get you, bitch, right? I can just see it. And then, so here we go. Run! Binky screamed. They ran down the cliffside, their legs burning. The moon hung low in the sky, and the forest was quiet, except for the scream of sympathy in the distance. They were nearly to the bottom when Binky tripped. Fucking of course he did, because someone gotta fall when you're running. Somebody do. The others barely managed to keep from falling over him as they reached the bottom. So they were like, fuck you, I'm out. We ain't picking you up. They looked back at the edge of the cliff. The moonlight was reflected off a pair of eyes. 2 red eyes stared at them. Thankfully, it was just 2. Look, she's coming, Binky screamed. They dashed up the hill, a devilish laugh echoing behind them. They ran to the riverbank and drew weapons. They waited for Sympathy to reach the riverbank. She appeared, snarling, ready to sink her teeth into Binky's neck. Binky stood his ground. This is where I had to fucking intervene, okay? Because at this point, Sympathy turned into a goddamn vampire, jumped at Binky, bit him in the fucking neck, and the AI literally said that his blood nourished her as she chewed on him. It was disgusting. Then Jeremy trying to jump in and be like, I won't let you do this to Binky. Well, she already done fucking did it to Binky, so it made no fucking sense.
Yeah.
And it
no
was
me gusta.
No me gusta. It was murderous and weird and not following any sort of plot line, and it wouldn't have been funny. It would have just been gross. So I had to highly edit this last bit. So here we go. With nowhere to go but across the river, Binky turned to face Sympathy and yelled, Sympathy, stop! This isn't you! We're your friends! Sympathy laughed. I am far more powerful than you. My army is stronger, my people are stronger. I can kill you, and I will. Then we have a matter of pride. Do what?
I said, I have an army. We have a Hulk.
Yeah, that's right. We have a Hulk. Exactly. We have a Hulk, bitch. We have a Jeremy. Fuck off. Yeah. Then we have a matter of pride. I can defeat you, Binky replied. Then we have a matter of concern, Sympathy said. It's your choice, Binky said. Get it, Binky! Get it! Stand in your little tiny ass stand in your ground. You get him, Binky. Go, Binky. The sky began to grow darker. A menacing storm began to form above them. The moonlight began to fade, but the light from the moon gave them enough light to see their enemy. That was a very strange sentence. Who is that? Finnegan asked. Fucking Finnegan. I can't. This part I did not do. This part was all AI, okay? Well, no, I lied. The next sentence was not AI, and then the rest of it, like, sort of is half and half. The who is that is all Finnegan. Is all AI. Did you hit your head when you fainted or something? That's Sympathy. You know the reason we've been running this whole time, Jeremy replied. She is powerful, Finnegan said. You think? Binky said sarcastically. You have no idea, Jeremy replied. The moon slowly dropped behind a large cloud. What are you waiting for? Fight me! Sympathy shouted. Sympathy lunged forward, but just before she reached Binky, a nearby tree was struck by lightning and fell between them. Velvet screamed, Now is our chance! Let's go! As the friends ran for the cave, they could hear Sympathy in the distance. Not good enough! A tree may have bought you time, but I will find you! To be continued. Yay!
Yay!
That was Jeremy. Stop with the goddamn it, Amanda. Just saw your emoji.
I did one. Just
Frozen.
one. I had that.
I know.
You're welcome.
So yeah. So that's Chronicles of Jeremy this week. Like I said, I did help it, but a lot of the funnier bits was the who's that? That was AI. I was like, oh, we're going with it. We're going with that. Fucking Finnegan, man. He's a joke, but it's fine. Okay. Goddamn. I forgot to bring my charger over here and my shit's dying, so.
We gotta get going.
We gotta go.
Gotta get up. Gotta get going. Gonna go see a friend of mine.
Gonna see a friend of mine. He's fun and he's fuzzy. I love him because he's just Pooh Bear, Winnie the Pooh Bear.
No copyright us, Disney. It's fine.
Chasing some honeybees.
No copyright.
Bear,
no copyright
there.
You gotta talk so they don't copyright us.
It's me and it's you and silly old Winnie the Pooh.
Nope.
I love it. Yep, I'm singing, so it's time to be done.
Yep, it's the ADHD has really kicked in. The meds are wearing off.
I'm in a store and I'm singing. There's no singing the North Pole. Yes, there is. All right, we're done. Goodbye. I love you.
Bye. I love you too.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Let me refresh.
That one's good. A narwhal and a
Narwhal.
squirrel. A narwhal and a squirrel. We finally got a squirrel.
Oh, it's gonna be a hard
Love
choice.
that. I love that. Okay.